Hey everybody, Will Fix here. Hey, always watch out in the comments, Today's video, because you got people trying to scam, right? By the way, if you like talking speculation, if you like talking allegorical ways of describing things, for easier understanding, things about XLM, XRP, and finances, and even some investments, then please give me a subscribe. Every time somebody subscribes, I promise you, it really, first of all, I'm surprised. I'm grateful. I'm like, thank you so much, man. Somebody, cares enough about that. Also, give me one of them. And if you can share it with somebody that may like it, that would be great too. All right. So today's video, I'm going to try to get it all in 8, 9, 10 minutes. So if I go over, I may have to do a part 2. But today I want to talk about the future of banking and just cast some speculative ideas on what's happening there. Then I want to talk a little bit about how custody has become such a big topic in the crypto world. Custody has really taken focus, and everybody's talking about it right now. You've probably noticed, and most all of us look at several different channels. So I want to talk about why that may be, and then I want to talk about the 3 different price predictions that I've made, because I guess I confused people by not explaining. I have 3 different categories. So I have the $1.20 projection for XRP. Then I have the $100 plus projection of XRP. And then I have the $25,000, which actually in that video I said about $10,000, but I believe $25,000 is possible prediction. So then when I say 120, I've had people say, well, what happened to the other prediction? Rightfully so. What a great question. I have not shifted focus at all, but I want to explain what those 3 are, because they're really important to explain. So that'll be towards the end of this video. All right, so my speculation on banking. First of all, banking had started off being where people didn't have a safe, so they had gold, they had silver, they had valuables, and they could take it to a bank, which a bank would then have a gigantic safe, and of course you'd have several people that could open the safe, and that's where people would store their money, because storing it at your farmhouse, or storing it on your property wasn't a very wise thing. Who wants your gold there and all your money there? Because then what about when you leave? Just imagine you leave, and then you're like, so you either carry it with you all the time, which is dangerous, or you completely leave it at your house. And people didn't buy big giant safes, back in the day. So banks were created in order for you to put your money in a safe. So that became banking. Banking then led into doing loans, because banks figured out they're holding all this money, and they came up with loan systems. Hey, you want to build a farm? We got enough money here at the bank. We'll pay interest to all of you people who want to allow your money to be loaned. So you have meaning of what is it? Meaning of life? No, not meaning of life. That's Monty Python. What's the old movie? It's a Wonderful Life. That's it. Not Meaning of Life. Okay. So It's a Wonderful Life. The old savings and loan deal. So people knew to make money and do things that way. Well, checks were developed. And then we have fiat currency came about. Then you have the Federal Reserve came about, which was, you got bonds and treasuries, and they would support the banks by giving them money at a rate, and then the bank would upcharge, and so on and so forth. So you have, therefore, our current banking system, which is used to be mostly checks. We didn't have debit cards. We had only credit cards. Now we have debit cards, and we hardly even use checks, but still we can do checks. And then that's the place where your money's deposited and held, and it is a place of custody. So that's where your money's at. All right. So along comes cryptocurrency like Bitcoin and such. Well, what was the big draw was, man, it's decentralized. All that means is it's not all one location. It's not like one centralized bank. It's not one center of decision. It's decentralized, meaning, well, I can own my own cryptocurrency. I can have custody of the very numbers myself, right? The very code that makes me have my money. People really like that. You know, especially in a world where banks were being hacked and, you know, there's all kinds of stuff going on, right? So we had this thing of Bitcoin come out, and it was very exciting, mostly to, I don't want to say nerdy, but I'm going to say nerdy. Mostly to the nerdy who are okay with self-custody and having, carrying the weight of the security of those factors. Now, of you know, how security on crypto is done. Now, you got to admit, you have to be a little bit tap savvy on a computer. You have to kind of try to figure it out. And then when you're given the seed phrase, you felt the, you know, it's like, oh man, I got to keep up with this. That's the secret to all of my money. So self-custody is among the people who are interested in cryptocurrency. Now, you and I both know people that would never want to have to record a seed phrase, and they don't even understand. They're like, I don't get all that. They stop there. Okay, now, so what is going to be the gap, the bridging gap for society is really over custody. So why, now we'll move on to the other section. Why is custody such a big factor right now? Because there's slews of people who don't want to handle their own custody. And so the banks, so what's happened? Well, the banks have realized, you know, this is going to crypto. I mean, XRP, did you know XRP is partnered with 15% of all the banks? I mean, they just got started. It's just sign up from here on out. Okay, but so what has happened? The reason custody has become the focus is because this thing's changing. The banks have resisted it, but now we're over that. We're over it partially. We still have the United States who's still being all upset that they're going to miss out on being the world reserve currency, because the world reserve currency is better off. I don't want to say it's XRP. It's going to be crypto, but I believe it's going to be mostly XRP because they're already in place. Maybe we'll talk about that a little bit more. So this is why custody has become featured, which I'll do a real quick plug for you. Look into JSM Jasmy, JSMY. Look into Jasmy coin. That's a security coin that's a fraction of a penny right now, and I like it. But anyway, maybe I'll put a video up about Jasmy on our sister channel, brother channel. All right, so custody has become a thing because they realize custody is the barrier that the average person or the person who's not nerdy is going to have to cryptocurrency. So once they establish an easy way of custody, that's why you've seen the recovery of seed phrases, you know, and things like this going on in the crypto world, because since they have now realized, this to me is the symbol of the realization that all of banking is changing. Okay? That's the emphasis I want to make. This idea of why custody has become a big thing is because the realization has hit the world. We're changing over to cryptocurrency. Now I'm at 9 minutes, and I was getting ready to talk about the 3 price predictions. So the why I have a $1.20 price prediction, why I have a $100 plus price prediction, and why I have a $10,000 to $25,000 XRP price prediction, but that's going to have to be in part 2. So I will put the video up for part 2 right here, and it will have the same title as this one. Sorry, but I hit 10 minutes, and I've just dedicated myself to try to stay under this for people, because the huge response was they get this on break, and less than 13 minutes is what it looks like people like to watch. So sorry about that, but check out part 2. The link has been up here. So see you in the next video.